Welcome to Back in Toons. I'm your host, Michael.
And I'm Marley.
This episode is our first annual Monsterpalooza. We'll be discussing terribly scary cartoons, and sometimes terrible, known as Drag Pack, Groovy Ghoulies, Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. And we will finally end up with creepy crawlers, but mostly those are in my pants. Apparently, it's also a cartoon we'll discuss.
I'm a monster, and that's so disgusting, even to my standards. I mean, my penis is falling off and rotting away, and that's...
Dude, okay, you just went gross. That's enough.
I'm a fucking zombie. What do you expect, you asshole?
Oh, dude, I never thought of that. Do zombie penises fall off? That's gross.
I'm not even sure. They're dead. I don't think they give a shit at that point.
Do you think it starts though with like plowly sagging, like it just kind of the sack starts to stretch and eventually just kind of plop?
Or it's just oozing and gross like it was in Planet Terror by Robert Rodriguez.
Oh, disgusting.
Quentin Tarantino.
So I saw it in the theaters, man. I was a barf.
Oh my god, yeah. He made a gruesome... It was stupid as fuck, but it had gore.
Alright, this episode, obviously, we're going to discuss 4 scary cartoons, and we're going to throw in some sketches, screw around a little bit. First off, let's talk about trick-or-treating. Halloween traditions. I had an episode planned, but apparently that fell apart with someone else. So, Jacob, what was your favorite costume growing up?
Oh, fuck. Batman. I was him every year. Like, every variation from Michael Keaton. Well, mainly just Michael Keaton and Val Kilmer. But yeah, oh my god, I just love dressing up as Batman. That was one. But I will say, growing up as a kid, let's see. I'm trying to think of others that I dressed up as. And I can't really remember. I never did anything really terrifying.
Did you wear those crappy plastic ones? For me, it was all those Don Post like $10 costumes with the plastic, the very thin plastic mask that would be held on with a rubber band, and you constantly found yourself like the rubber band was digging into your head, and then the mask was always kind of cutting into your face, and you would find
and your ears.
Yeah, the part around your nose and lips are always covered in like slobber because it didn't ventilate very well, and you find yourself just like, you're pulling it out, going trick or treat, or you had to put it back down.
I was Sub-Zero 1 year from Mortal Kombat.
Yeah? Oh, I think never mind. For some reason, I started thinking Mr. Freeze.
But yeah, no.
I thought you meant from the Batman movie, the absolutely amazing Batman movie. Have you ever seen Sub-Zero?
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it is.
Fantastic.
I love it. Absolutely amazing. Anyway, so yeah, no, I was always Batman. I didn't always have those like shitty plastic costumes. No, I didn't have any of those. I had like these really cool kind of, generic ones.
Yeah.
But they were very comfortable. And then one year, my mom got me the Michael Keaton like rubber mask replica. I was like, oh hell yeah! Don't know what happened to it though. And then my dad and mom wore it to a costume party once, and she was Catwoman.
I tried to go right after Return of the Jedi came out. Boba Fett was not that popular. He was still a very minor cult figure. Seriously, he didn't get that much attention. It started to grow from Empire to Return of the Jedi. So obviously he had his fans, but now he's like one of the most popular characters. At the time,
Jango Fett ruined him.
Yeah, probably. There was no real merchandising besides the one figure, and I desperately wanted to be Boba Fett for Halloween, but of course there's no costumes. There's no mask you could buy. So my mother used the makeup. I believe it was from Avon. It was a Halloween kit, and she drew on the Boba Fett mask onto my face, and it looked amazing. And here is the problem. Turns out I'm insanely allergic to whatever was in there. And after taking the makeup off...
helmet?
Yeah, my skin was still kind of the color of the makeup. Red, raw, a little purple. It was awful.
And your face puffed up to the size of the helmet, so it
Oh,
worked
yeah,
out perfectly.
almost. It was awful. And
Oh God, I'm
yeah,
sorry.
I can't have anything on my face. I was on stage for Lend Me a Tenor during college, and I had to put makeup on, and I
No,
remember just
no.
being miserable.
Oh shit, man, I'm sorry.
Well, my character was supposed to
Okay.
be irritable, so it worked. It helped.
Perfect, perfect setup and for that character. Anyway,
I really expected though that be like halfway through like a monologue and be like, "My skin is on fire!" Run screaming off the stage, tears are making the makeup wash away.
help me, baby, Jesus, help me, Tom Cruise.
What have I done?
Honestly,
What have I done to deserve this?
that's probably how John Rhys Davies felt on the set of Lord of the Rings when he had to dress up as Gimli.
Oh, yeah, I've heard horror stories. What was it? We just passed Back to the Future Day, and Tom Wilson, I remember back in the day, was talking about the makeup made him break out so bad, and he was just insanely miserable the whole time.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah,
That's horrible.
but it was worth it for our entertainment. Just suffer for our joy.
Yeah, that's right. God damn you, Tom Wilson.
Speaking of, we're gonna say this for our news segment, but I can't wait to talk about the Back to the Future Day. Okay, so trick or treat. The last costume that I remember buying as a child was I went to Spencer's Gifts. No, not Spencer's. That's that mall store. Crap. Whatever. It was downtown Fort Wayne, and they had amazing masks.
Spirit?
What's that? No, it wasn't Spirit. That's kind of a franchise too. It was. Well, I'll remember later. It was a werewolf mask, and I think it cost like $40, which at the time sounded insane. And I wore that sucker for I think 4th grade till about 8th grade, and I remember trick or treating, and I realized I was taller than everybody else, and it was a little strange. And then I remember some kids yelling at me, and I just got embarrassed. And I went home, and I said, "Well, I guess this is my last Halloween trick or treating." And fast forward to about an hour later, I'm sobbing over my empty pumpkin with candy wrappers all over my lap. That's a way to end it.
Yeah, I know. While Sarah is playing in the background by our Jefferson Starship.
Bella Lugosi's dead. He's dead. He's dead. And
that works too.
My youth is over. I had that Freaks and Geeks moment. When Sam realized that he's just too old to be trick or treating.
Oh God, yes, that was so sad. And then he got egged.
Yeah, that's my favorite Halloween episode. Friend.
Oh yeah, that was a damn good one because it's so groundbreaking. It just hits you so hard. It's so real.
I think next year we should discuss some of the Halloween specials. We already did Great Pumpkin Halloween, but we could discuss it. You and I have not discussed Great Pumpkin, so you and I could discuss it. There's the Fat Hour Halloween special. There's the Berenstein Bears and the Spooky Tree. There's a lot we can chit chat. Oh, you have to see
your House of Horror.
What's that? Yeah, we should talk about that next year. We didn't plan properly, people. We're going to talk about some kind of crappy cartoons. By the way, that costume place was called Stoners.
Oh, Stoner. Oh, was it a very clever name? Were people actually getting stoned?
I think it was a costume shop, part costume shop, part like head store. Where you get your bongs. It's been a very long time since I've been there, so I can't be. I don't want to get sued for saying that.
I don't know. You better fucking not, Michael.
After that, I would just do pranks. For years, it just turned out Halloween was for egging and mailbox hitting. And the year that I broke into the Haunted Mansion in town, and
yeah, I remember you telling me about this story.
Right.
Do recap.
It was a mansion in the middle of Huntington. There's a statute of limitations on this, right? I don't want to go to jail for something I did when I was 25 years ago.
Well, it's been too fucking long. I don't think they'll give a shit for something as pathetic as that.
So there's a big, awesome house in the middle of Huntington, and it's always been abandoned. I think people buy it and they realize it's too expensive and they give up. And this is when high school for me was getting really rough. I lost my original group of friends. I was kind of searching around trying to find anybody so I could belong. Now I just can't stand people. I like being by myself at most of the time. But then I was desperate for friendship. It's like being in prison. If you don't have a group to link up with, you are gonna be a victim. And I remember these guys, I kind of knew they were going to skip school. And I was like, oh my God, that sounds amazing. I mean, I was scared, but at the same time, it was something I had never done before. So I just wanted to see what it was like. Skip school.
You're like Bilbo going on an adventure.
Right. And we had planned, it was the day before Halloween, so we planned on breaking into the mansion and hanging out on the top floor, just kind of watching the town. So we get up there, and we realize after a half hour of smoking cigarettes and peeing, oh my God, now I think about it more, I feel so ashamed. Urinating on the top floor. I don't know why we thought that was amazing. We were rotting this house even more. We start to leave, and one of the guys decides he's going to take this. There was a rope that went from the third floor to the bottom floor, and I think it was just to carry stuff from when they were doing construction. So he takes the rope down. He makes it about halfway through the second floor, and it's completely dark in there. He gets him down, and he says something grabbed his foot. He looks down with his lighter, and something is there. He said he saw a hand. It grabbed his foot or whatever, and he said it was all scaly like a lizard, and we all like ran like hell out of there. And I was like, that's insane. Like about an hour later, I was like, there's no way that happened, but I'm not going to say it with these guys because they're all bigger than me and tougher than me, and they're going to beat the crap out of me. And,
yeah, of course they would.
Yeah, basically, I think it was just one of the construction workers. It was probably around lunch or something. He probably heard some kids breaking in, screwing around, decided to play a prank on us by... He even could have had a lizard hand on, just a costume, but more likely it was a normal hand who just grabbed his foot and then just laughed his ass off as we screamed out of the building.
Or he probably had to go into the, septic system and decided it's like, oh, fuck it, I'll wash it and sterilize it later. And then, oh, no, I'm afraid of no ghosts. I'd be like, man, fuck you. You ain't shit.
Did you ever do pranks?
I don't know. I mean, I did. I think I did. I was a witness to some egging, and I did doorbell ditch for some Pokemon cards, okay? That was my motivation back then.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, if you give me some Pokemon cards...
We've all TP'd at one time or another. And there's this weird rule that says that you can't get fined if you take out the core. If you take out the paper part, which sounds like a stupid thing. It's still TPing, regardless of whether or not you have the middle.
What?
That's what I've heard. I guess you cannot get fined for TPing if you take out the hard core in the middle of the toilet paper. It's probably an urban legend. Probably not true at all.
It's urban. No, I wouldn't say it's urban legend. It's just sheer stupidity, kind of like the ones you'd hear about, chemtrails and shit. Oh my God. I'm sorry. That whoever thinks that's an act that you can't get fined for taking out the core of it, fuck you.
Yeah. All right. So our first cartoon is going to be Drac Pack. Here's the intro. We don't do intros anymore, but I said, hey, you know what? This is an episode. Whoa, that is. Good God, that's loud. Here we go.
Monsters of the past comes a new generation dedicated to reversing the evil image of their forefathers. Under the leadership of none other than Count Dracula, known as Big D, 3 teenagers form the do-gooder group.
Big D.
With special powers, they can transform into super mighty monsters and use their skills against all evildoers, especially the diabolical Dr. Dread and his renegade rascals Toad, Fly, Mollyman, and Vampira, a group known as Ogre, the organization of generally rotten enterprises. It's right versus wrong, good over greed, niceness against naughtiness. That's the dedication of the terrific trio, Frankie, Howler, and Drac Jr., the Drac Pack.
He said Big D. I can't believe they did that in a cartoon. That kills me.
Back in the day, yeah. Nobody thought of it that way.
We all call him Big Dong. I don't know what it means. Why are you all blushing?
Yeah. It's just to me, it's quite horrible. Honestly.
All right, so for this cartoon is actually kind of legendary in my mind for one reason. The very first reading experience I ever had was with Spider-Man comic books, and I had a subscription to Spider-Man and The Incredible Hulk. Now, every year when the cartoons premiere in September, they would always buy these huge ads in comic books, and it had the CBS one. It had like Heckle and Jekyll, Tarzan Adventures, and they had an ad for Drac Pack. And from the very second I saw that ad to years later reading it, I kept that comic book. It was Spider-Man, I believe, 218, where the Sandman and Hydra Man combined into one giant beast. And I held on to that for probably 25, 30 years, and I always looked at that ad thinking, that looks awesome. I must find it. Around 2007, I found a bootleg version of it, and I watched it, and within a minute of me getting through the intro, I was horribly disappointed. It's the reality of some stuff that just breaks your heart. You're just like, oh, it's not an action show, it's not an adventure, it's not serious in any way. It's all straight up comedy, and I was just depressed.
Oh my gosh, it's like it's it is. It's just another ripoff of Scooby Doo, and to think Dracula being the mastermind to stop the other monsters, I'm pretty sure he was just using his great nephew and his friends to screw over the other monsters so it could pave way for Dracula's plans.
Yeah,
I'm sure that was Dracula's mastermind, master plan the whole time. He was an evil fuck. He's an evil, deceptive fuck.
The animation is okay.
I hope he dies.
It's kind of at the point when Hanna-Barbera started losing all their good designers and their artists, and it started moving on to that there's 4 classes of Hanna-Barbera basically. There's the theatrical, which is the Tom and Jerry. There is the early years with like Flintstones, Jetsons, all those classic ones, and Scooby-Doo. Now, I feel the last of that era that was any good in its design was Hong Kong Phooey. And after that, Hanna-Barbera sucked donkey butt. It wasn't until the 90s with, I would say, Johnny Quest is when all of a sudden they really started getting good again. Johnny Quest and Pirates of Darkwater was fantastic as well.
Yes, it was.
The 90s were very kind to Hanna-Barbera. The 70s and 80s, not so much.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, Hanna-Barbera deserves a lot of credit for creating so many wonderful classic cartoons.
Yeah.
And they did have a hand in Josie and the Pussycats, right?
This is true. And that's kind of early 70s. I just feel like from 75 to maybe 88 they were phoning it in. It was just rudimentary, conveyor belt. What do they call that? Cookie cutter.
Assembly line?
Yeah, assembly line animation. It felt like there was no real originality, spirit. I was very depressed. And this cartoon just let me down huge. But what it kills me is some of the stuff I read about it, and you're just like, really? When they put their hands together and say whack 'em, that kills me. It's also nicknamed called the Drac Whack. This is so penis oriented, yet nobody seemed to notice it.
The Drac Whack sounds like a horrible porno parody.
I would actually eagerly look forward to the Drac Whack.
Well, maybe with an all-female cast. I don't know.
All right, and the main villain is so lame. Dr. Dread. He's got a, I don't know. I can't even get the spirit for this one because it hurt me so much.
I know, it's hurting me right now. God, and I ended up watching some of that episode. I'm like, what the fuck am I watching? I can't do this. Oh God, please, 20 minutes, go by faster.
This is on DVD. It was distributed by VEI, which is actually a pretty solid Canadian company. They've released some shows that were not available in America. This one is, oddly enough, you didn't have to have it imported like the way I did with Riptide. I'd have the Riptide series imported.
Uh-huh.
All right. Is there anything else you want to say about Drag Pack? I feel like I'm kind of letting the audience down, but
kill
honestly,
it. I hope it stays dead. I hope it stays undead for the rest of us. I feel like
I shouldn't have been watching it in the first place.
Fuck you, Drag Pack. Disappointed me. Next.
The list of cartoons that we had for our potential episode here completely collapsed. We were like, oh no, that's like, oh God, that was bad. No. There is a cartoon version of Little Shop of Horrors. And
it was.
Did you watch it? It's the worst. It is so insanely bad. We gotta maybe throw that in sometime for like a bad Toons episode.
Was it worse than Battletoads?
Oh God, it was close. It's real close.
Oh, good God.
All right, we're gonna take a break real quick, and we'll come back with a sketch and Groovy Ghoulies.
This
is MNN, the Monster News Network. We're going live to an interview with the Frankenstein's monster.
Hello, yes, thanks for having me on MNN.
This is Diane Williams. If I'm dying, I'm lying. If I'm lying, I'm dying. Oh, I guess I did. Sorry, everybody.
I thought you already were dead.
Yeah, I know. Falling apart every day. All right. How's it going, Frankenstein's monster?
I'm doing great. I'm doing very fantastic. I'm very confident right now.
Well, you're running for the Monster Union. You're going up against a strong opponent. Dracula. How do you feel about that?
Oh, please. I could beat him I could beat him when I'm asleep. He's a loser.
Nah. Well, I guess we can start the interview there. Are you ready?
All right. Fire when ready.
All right.
But not real fire.
These questions were submitted by the union members. And the first question is, what will you do to help the Monster Union?
Well, I'm gonna bring back jobs back for real monsters to tackle. I mean, they're just not that scary anymore. It's always all about zombies. And I'm so sick of the zombies. They're always causing trouble. They're eating up all the good food. They're turning everyone into zombies. It's ridiculous. I'm sick of it.
Oh, I don't... You know, the reaction to some comments like that, you know that most of the jobs out there that, the bigger monsters don't want to do. The zombies take up the slack.
Oh, please, they're all a bunch of lazy, good-for-nothing, undead walking freaks.
Oh, those are harsh words from our candidate. All right, the second question submitted is, how will you control the overwhelming amount of the undead that is affecting the amount of available victims?
I'm just going to set up an anti-zombie wall. Just going to have it built up. These zombies don't know how to climb. They don't know how to do anything. They're too stupid.
I've heard they've advanced. Have you seen the World War Z? They're climbing on top of each other to get to the humans.
Oh, that's just not true. That's bogus. Total bogus.
All right, you heard it here. He believes that's nonsense. All right, the third question submitted is, why do you insist on using the name Frankenstein when that's actually the name of your creator? Do you feel like you are committing fraud against the voters?
I'm just taking up his name in respect. After all, I mean, he's dead. He created me. He made me what I am. And I'm thankful for that. So it's the least I can do for him.
All right. And the fourth question is, how are you different in your goals than your opponent?
Oh, please. Because I'm a man of action. I'm going to do what I say I'm going to do. He's nothing but... Dracula's nothing but talk. Prince of Darkness. Ha! More like Prince of Darkness.
Yeah, he's a little more focused on not sparkling.
Please, he might as well be. The little fairy.
Oh, hey, those are seriously harsh words there, sir. All right. So
damn right.
The fifth question is, are you energy efficient?
Oh, yes, indeed. I mean, I got a great brain. Plus, I'm made up of a bunch of different body parts. All extremely large in size. Just hook me up to a tower, and just let a lightning bolt hit me. I am the Balosaurus, baby.
All right, and our final question is, what are your final words for the vision of all monster kind?
Well, I'm just gonna make monsters scary again. I'm doing it. I'm bringing it all back. No more of this, let's be friends with humans. Nuh-uh, none of that crap. None of that sissy hippie crap.
All right, you heard it here. That was the interview with the Frankenstein's monster. All right, join us later for the interview with Dracula on MNN. Real sound effects.
Everybody shout! Come on now, sing out! It's time for the ghoulies get together. They got jokes
All right, there's no need to finish that song. You know what it was. It's Groovy Ghoulies. Jacob.
Exact. Ah. And I was just getting into it. I'm snapping my fingers and all that. I'm loving it.
There's only like 5 seconds left. That's ridiculous. Don't get too excited.
Okay, good. Okay, fine.
Groovy Ghoulies also is the name of a truly excellent punk band. The fantastic albums that they did. You should check them out. They're great.
I'll definitely have to next time whenever I get the chance, man.
They're really fun poppy songs. Sadly, they broke up recently because I think the band just wasn't selling anymore. But they do like songs devoted to Devo and monsters and sci-fi and just having a good time. Real, I don't want to say it's like whimsical, like They Might Be Giants or Bare Naked Ladies, but they have a lighter tone to them.
Wow.
All right, so Groovy Ghoulies, like the show we discussed before, this Drac Pack, only lasted, I would say, one season at best. It might even been like 3/4 of a season. It wasn't like the full 22 or 24 episodes. 15, 16 episodes, and that's it. People are out of there.
Shit.
Now, the last
Dude,
one from Hanna-Barbera, this one is from Hal Sutherland, and he's the main director, but it's also from Filmation, which is the company that did He-Man and Brave Star and stuff like that.
Oh, wow. Oh my God, well, that explains like the unique artistic aspect of it. It looks like it'd be a Hanna-Barbera cartoon. Plus, looking at Dracula and his bride, those look like the exact same characters that I saw in, the Ghostbusters cartoon. Not, Ghostbusters based off the movie, but the ones before that with like Talking Gorilla, the Funimation one.
Right, yeah. So both of them are Filmation. I would not be surprised if they reuse some of the animation. Also, Larry Storch, a voice in Groovy Ghoulies, and I'm pretty sure that he was in an episode of that Ghostbusters cartoon because he was part of the original group, the live-action version of Ghostbusters. And then when they went animated, there's an episode where it goes back to the previous generation of Ghostbusters, and he shows up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, do you know who Larry Storch
is?
He was a comedian. He's mostly known for F Troop.
Shit, I'm sorry.
F Troop, it was kind of one of those TV shows that you look back on it now going, someone made this? This is insane. It was kind of insulting to Native Americans, but the worst one is probably Hogan's Heroes. I will never understand why someone thought, yeah, a prison camp. That sounds like a good place for a comedy.
Wow. Of course. I don't even know what to say.
Yeah, it's bizarre. And so he does one of the voices in Groovy Ghoulies. I don't really recognize any of the other names. I usually do. John Irwin and Dallas McKennon, Larry D. Mann, Howard Morris, Jane Webb. I got nothing. And someone at home right now is just screaming, "Oh, get out of there!" Now, this one is a comedy, but at no point did I think it was anything other than a comedy. So I think it's easier to take. I have no problem with it. It's kind of a musical horror show. Its focus isn't on really action adventure or horror. It's more just having like a good time. And the jokes are old school, but they're good. They're good old school.
I felt like I was watching like a monster movie, Rodney Dangerfield's life, basically, with all of his one-liners. I got a kid. I mean, there was like no plot. There was really no action adventure. It was just all silliness. That's all it was. It was pretty groovy. Hence the name.
This one it got kind of cut up and added to other cartoons for a syndication package. So while it lasted 16 episodes on broadcast, syndication lasted 104 as Groovy Ghoulie and Friends.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so they got some new mileage out of it. I believe the shows included were The New Adventures of Gilligan, which I wish they had included Gilligan's Planet, which is awesome, and nobody knows what the hell it is. The rest of them I really don't know. My Favorite Martians, The New Adventures of Waldo Kitty, Lassie, Rescue Rangers. I've never heard of any of these.
Oh, I remember Rescue Rangers.
Not that Rescue Rangers, not Chip and Dale. It's Lassie's Rescue Rangers.
Oh, so Lassie had some like high-tech equipment to be access to and saved a bunch of other animals and stuff?
Lassie, is Timmy in the well? Well, let me set up my equipment. Like all these satellite dishes going up, and technically she's got like a little hacker dog next to her.
Does she also have like she could use like a little grappling hook crane to save Timmy from the well, all that crap
She's
instead of trying to
she's coming
come
down
alive.
like Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible, like on those little strings.
Exactly. She's like, you better have a treat for me when this is all over, or I'll kill you. I'll leave you down here to rot.
All right. So, is there anything else you want to say about Groovy Ghoulies? This is kind of we're burning through some stuff here for Monsterpalooza.
Okay, as far as it goes for Groovy Ghoulies, I'd like to see something like this come back again, but with some top comedic talent. Like I want to see Danny McBride get involved with Groovy Ghoulies.
Jack Black, Danny McBride, Will Ferrell, just bring them all back for like an improv monster comedy.
I can just imagine Danny McBride right now just getting into a fight with or him being like Frankenstein's monster and getting in a fight with Dracula.
Yeah.
And it's just like that scene from This Is the End where he's talking about coming all over the place. It's like, I'll come wherever the fuck I want to. I'll come all over the ceiling, all over the walls. I'll come anywhere I want to, James. He's silly at James Franco.
All right, so we're going to pause real quick, and I think it's time for our interview with Dracula.
All right.
This is MNN, the Monster News Network. We go live to Dan Cadaver for his interview with Dracula.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Dan Cadaver. Sorry, being a cadaver, your parts start to fall off, like your jaw. Anyway, tonight we are having an exclusive interview with the Prince of Darkness himself, Dracula, in his run for the Monster Union. Good evening, Dracula. How are you doing tonight?
I am doing absolutely fantastic. Thank you for having me on the show.
I thank you for agreeing with this interview. All right, let's get down to business. Most of these questions are from your opponent's demographic. So let us begin, shall we?
Go ahead. I am waiting any time. Go ahead with your questions. I am prepared. I am always prepared. Blah.
Of course you are. Is it true that you are adding animal blood to, blood boxes in schools in order to make vampiric children like and coexist with humans?
I feel
Would
like,
you care to comment?
as a man of the past, I cannot dwell in that time. We need to look to the future of all monster kind. The way to do that is to focus. Very, very focus. Look into my eyes. Look into my eyes. We need to focus on the future relationships with humans. The slaying, the killing. It needs to end. It's time for us to unite for the better of all the world. So therefore, I've decided to add animal blood into the boxes of children. No one wants to be drinking the blood of, oh, hello, I'm Timmy. I'm drinking the blood of your mother. How you doing? And have the child cry next to him and swear one day to drive a stake into his heart. It needs to change. And then, after the animal blood, honestly, I believe that it's time to look towards synthetic blood. Less killing, more drinking, and happiness and joy.
That is a very good statement. It would also add, more food storage. That way, please excuse me. Oh, my parts aren't what they used to be.
It's quite alright.
Oh.
I have the
But
same
yes,
problem with Renfield. We're duct taping his face together in his arms. I mean, frankly, I'm surprised his butt cheek's still attached.
Oh yes, us ghouls. We do what we can to try, and unfortunately, plastic surgery just won't work. We're too dead. So the next question is, what are you doing against monster hunter invasions? There have been reports that they have increased.
Well, the peace talks that we've had with the human race have actually been quite positive. The outcome for our union, not just the monster union, the union between humans and monsters, shall always be a growing task. 'Cause there will always be people who go against the norm. Oh, we are allowing monsters and humans to marry. We have decided to maybe look down on the amount of weaponry being sold to these monster hunters. They say they're hunting Sasquatches, zombies, but frankly, I feel that they're going after all of us. Some of the more sophisticated ones, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. It's a very awkward relationship because Mr. Hyde doesn't want to be killed by Dr. Jekyll. It's very uncomfortable to sit there at a dinner party and hear one bitch about killing the other when they're the same person. I feel that the monster hunters should be licensed, have everything checked on their background, make sure that they're not crazy. I mean, come on, we're monsters, but we're not crazy. And frankly, it's time to move on from just the killing. Like I said before, the world needs to change. I think it's afraid of change. Now watch while I change it to a bat. Ha ha ha! I'm back. A little levity. I get very serious, but it's nice to joke.
It's true. Oh, you did give me quite a scare there when you turned into a bat. We forgot that you could do something like that, especially transform to a giant swarm of them. Oh, well, that is a very...
I used to do it when I was younger for amusement at parties. I needed the money.
Okay, that is something you weren't ashamed of.
No, I feel that we should be in the point, I've been alive for, what, centuries. There's some weird stuff I did in the past. I used to love according to Jim. And I have forgiven myself for this. Blah.
My gosh, such honesty and how committed you are to being honest. Thank you very much for that answer. It was very, very committed. And, okay, my next question is, rumors of a little law you've been writing up called Helsing's Law, which is a very extreme measure of human monster hunters to legally, go on mass killing sprees for one night against monster kind. Is that true, and would it ever go into effect?
People have been saying that I was responsible for this law. The people under me undermined me, and they passed this law without my say-so. I know that I was not the head of the union, but I was part of the legislation. These people under me decided to, you know how sometimes you want one thing to pass and they add something else in with it, and it's the only way to get it passed? It sounds like complete bullshit, but it's true. All I wanted to do was allow for development of the synthetic blood. The only way to get the funding for it was for some schmucks to add a law saying for one night it would be okay for monsters and humans to just have at it, destroy each other no matter what the collateral damage was. Then the rest of the year, not so much. I believe the idea came from the movie The Purge. I don't know, I don't watch movies very much. I'm just more of a TV guy. I like to binge watch with the wives.
Oh, of course. So that's what you call it.
So yes, I do not support the Helsing's Law at all. It's a scam. When I am the head of the Monster Union, I plan on banning this permanently.
That is a good and bold statement. You felt like you had to compromise without your knowing that this would go into effect along with the synthetic blood.
It means to an end, I guess, is what you say. What is the next question? I'm very excited. Well,
I'm terribly sorry, but I really hope you do stick to that commitment. And this next question was from unknown. It's an anonymous. It was sent in anonymously. It said there's a supposed affair with a woman named Mina Harker, a human. Will you care to comment on that?
No longer excited about these questions. What time is it? I kid.
But
I must say that the Mina Harker, the relationship, what do you call it affair? You call it seduction, an affair. Does it mean that she looked into my eyes too long and I drew her towards me? Is it my fault that I'm charming? All I can say was there's sucking involved. Was I doing the sucking? Was she doing the sucking? It doesn't matter. Fluids were involved. a hot night on the old town tonight. Oh. I will say this. I am completely devoted to my wives. But every once in a while, I fuck up. And I would like to be forgiven for this. For my past transgressions, my current transgressions, and my planned future transgressions. Transgressions is a very hard word to say with this accent. It's quite difficult.
There are many difficult words to speak in the English language, but it's also true. But look at the fact. Look at this. You're in a polyamorous relationship. You are married to more than one woman. Would you think that have the wives ever perhaps had an affair with someone else while you were floating away from your castle, buying up property in London back in 1897?
I never thought of this before. Oh dear God! Do I have children?
Yes.
Are there others? Oh, I don't know how clean they are. I mean, I just found them up. They were just hookers on the streets. They were recommended by this guy named Jack. He said, tonight I'm not going to kill them. Would you like to have them directly? I was like, oh, you're very good, buddy. And frankly, I need to look more into what they're doing while I'm gone. Yes. Thank you. Thank you for this.
But you being the Prince of Darkness and having those powers, you would have known something could have been going on. Your eyes go everywhere.
You know, they never say that Dracula has severe attention to stuff. You know, I have ADHD. You know, I'm very distracted all the time. Just because when I look at you, you're paying attention to me doesn't mean I'm paying attention to you. I'm very. I'm absent-minded. I'm a little. Maybe I shouldn't be admitting to this. I do want to be the head of the union. I think I might have screwed up.
Well, you are still leading in the polls, however, so there is something is working.
Well,
and
if the voters don't like me leading with the poll, the ladies sure will. Blah.
Well, you do have their voter confidence. Sorry, my voice box is slipping out of place. Forgive me. And last question was asked by Bill O'Cockroachley from the Mega Monster News Network.
I'm not a fan of these people or that gentleman. They love to make up lies, pretending they're truth. How is this legal? They sit there and tell you, oh, this happened, and then they're like, oh, we know there's other parts of this story that we manipulated, and it's still fact. We just keep continue, and the people believe them. The Monster Union is just like, sure, let it go, let it slide.
Very true. Even that video they used recently, they said was reported on that day during that monster refugee crisis. However, that video that they used was dated back 400 years ago. I'm sorry. 4. Oh, I'm sorry. My eyes aren't even working that well. Oi.
Yes, I will say this. What is the question? I'm sure it's going to be complete nonsense.
Knowing him, yes, it always is. I'm surprised he still has a job, or is still undead. I hope he gets exercised soon. Anyway, yes, do you plan to set off a Mega Sun Bomb at the Mega Vampire Blood Bowl event?
What is a Mega Sun Bomb? Because I have never heard of this thing. I have no idea. Now, the Mega Vampire Blood Bowl, I hope they play the song Drop the Bomb on Me by the Gap Band. I love that song and I love that Blood Bowl. Frankly, these accusations, that I would want to wipe out the vampire society because, maybe there's too many of them, that, possibly that some of the younger vampires, they weren't very quality control oriented. There's maybe a higher amount of vampires than humans available. It's possible. If one were to do so, it would make life just a tad bit easier, because some of these vampires, they suck. And I mean in the bad way, blah.
Yes, I guess him and his viewers believe that you're still a genocidal maniac, trying to get rid of all monster kind.
I will say this. I don't even know how to work my DVR properly. I mean, it's ridiculous. The wives are just like, how can you not know this? It's so simple. Why, you're stupid? And frankly, I make a sun bomb. The only thing that I would even get close to a make a sun bomb would be like if it was a big drink from some shake place, you know, with the protein and the fruit, and it was like, I make a sun bomb, and I would be like, I would take 2 of those, blah.
Oh, that is oh gosh. People were actually thinking of the actual, weapon of mass destruction, sun bomb. Oh, I know. It is hard. And one more personal question I'd like to ask: how is your son Alucard doing?
Oh, the boy. I look at him and I see the future of something. I don't know. He's kind of a slob. He goes around trying to be rebellious, and I will say this: that he has potential, but he's too focused on being a rebel. And I got to focus a little bit on the Union. I don't want his distractions. Always playing the loud music, going around with the twerking girls. I don't know. The kids, you know, what are you gonna do?
Is it because of his half-human blood, do you think?
Oh, I don't know. Sometimes I think that's the best part of him. When I look at him, I see his mother. And when I see his mother, I think of the time that maybe I should have drinking all of her blood, and that was kind of stupid. I should have left her a little bit alive, maybe shed a little bit of blood, and then she could have raised him. Because frankly, the 3 brides of Dracula, they're self-absorbed. They're jackasses. They're like the Kardashians of the undead. But like I must say, the booty is juicy.
Oh yes, of course you are. You are a slave to that booty, as am I, or at least I was when I was alive.
It doesn't matter. Everybody, slave to the booty. Booty, booty, booty. Slap, slap, slap. Love it.
Yeah.
I take a bite out of that booty any day. But yes, back to my son. I do hope that he finds his way, and that way has nothing to do with getting a stake in the heart. That's why I must focus on the future. When the Frankenstein's monster, he has no family. He has that wife that he apparently loves, but she always looks like she's freaked out and uncomfortable being with him. And honestly, he is the wrong candidate, and I am the right one. Vote for me.
Evidently so. You are the lesser of 2 evils, or should I say, the greater of 2 evils.
It depends on your point of view, you know.
Of course, yes. Thank you very much for your time, but those are all the questions. I am out of questions. This was a really heart-opening interview. Quite literally, yes. You could see my heart.
Oh, that's quite disgusting, and frankly, I'm getting a little hungry, so I am going to leave now and have a good dinner.
All right. Thank you for your time, Mr. Dracula. And for those of you watching, thank you, and enjoy your evening.
This has been MNN, the Monster News Network. Tomatoes! Attack the tomatoes! If you can't tell, I was a huge fan of this cartoon, and still am. I love Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, the movies, but definitely the cartoon.
Oh gosh, yeah, no, I remember watching the movies very brief. I briefly remember the movies because I was only a little kid when I watched them, and then I also ended up watching the cartoon a lot, like pretty much almost every morning. And looking back on it now, watching it recently, I loved how it made fun of like all these classic, pop culture characters, and of course, famous Hollywood directors. Like Woody Allen in particular, that neurotic little Jewish guy in the diner that always had to get thrown out because of his crap.
Yeah. There's a lot of, music that at the time, did I say music? I meant movies and TV shows that were ripe for satirical stuff coming on. Attack of the Killer Tomatoes was a horror show, a comedy show, but then always had that extra level of, I think, humor that adults would definitely get, or at least teenagers.
Right. Which is why I think I watched it for as long as I did.
And it only lasted, I believe, 2 seasons. and it got rerun for years on Fox. It stuns me that it only lasted one season. Why they didn't go beyond that? Because it was on. It's like the way Erie, Indiana was on. It was just on forever and ever and ever in reruns. And
Oh my God,
said,
yes.
Hey, you think we should knock out another 13 episodes? No. Why? Because it's being aired a lot and people love it and it's making some money. We hate money. Okay.
They never listened, but hey, I mean, the people, studios managed to listen to the, fans of Firefly, and look how that turned out.
Yeah. It just seems like a cartoon that should not have bombed. It maybe was something it was up against, but I think in the 90s, Fox was reaching for anything that was odd, and then rejected almost as fast. They never really gave it time to breathe, which is very, very disappointing.
Of course. I mean, look what Fox did with Fantastic Four movies.
Oh, look what Fox does with anything. It's sci-fi on Friday nights. Oh, it's a hit on Tuesday? Well, let's shove it over to the Friday for a second season and watch it slowly die.
I know, because we're absolutely sadistic. We just love watching things in pain slowly die, Clarice.
We like fans pissed off and we want to burn money. We hate money. I poop on
It's like,
money.
well, shoot. Like, you could have given us some of that money. We'd be doing fine right now.
Yeah,
you know what?
I would pay to do some of these shows again. If you gave me the budget, I would say, all right, well, bring back Firefly, bring back Briscoe County Jr., bring back, roughly 13 other shows that were damn good. You just killed Space Above and Beyond. Awesome. Have you seen that?
Oh, I know.
Space
It's like,
Above and Beyond is so good.
I'll have to look into it.
Yeah, it's from the guys that did Final Destination, but they did it right after the X-Files, and it was basically a military show in outer space. It was so insanely expensive.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was badass.
I'll have to look into it.
Okay, so over the speaker, I want you to virtually punch me in the dick every time I say the word Just go, wah
Ba 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 or just make a little musical number out of it.
Right.
I'll have to cut you off and be rude.
Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. John Astin, who would return from Return of the Killer Tomatoes, arguably the best of the 4 live-action movies, to be the evil scientist. Actually, a lot of the elements from Return of the Killer Tomatoes pop up in the cartoon. Oh, there we go. I did it. Punch me.
Ba, ba.
Of course, George Clooney and Anthony Stark don't return, but
Ba, ba.
Did I say again, really? Oh.
Yes.
Fuzzy Tomato returns, and then that girl with the beach, I can't remember her name. She had like the Valley Girl voice.
Gosh.
I don't know.
Do I want to say Julie Brown?
No. Well, maybe it might have been for the cartoon, but it wasn't in the movie. I'm literally yawning as I talk. How unprofessional.
Of course. But you're getting the point out.
Get
it while it's
That's my style. The cartoon is just it's really good. But my favorite voice actor for the whole show is Tom Bray. Now, people who don't know Tom Bray he was a nerd hero during the 80s. There was an action TV show called Riptide. It had 3 cast members living on a boat who also had a badass car, a helicopter, and they solved crimes. But 2 of the guys were like studs, muscle-bound guys that got all the ladies, but the 3rd guy, he was the nerd. He built all the technology for him. He was the heart, and he held that show together. Tom Bray was absolutely fantastic in it. He did some movies.
Time out. Riptide.
Riptide. It's an
Hulk Hogan?
No, you're thinking Thunder in Paradise, which is shit. Which is shit. It's complete garbage. Yeah, believe it, brother. This show is shit. Now check out my 24-inch pythons.
Okay, that's what I remember watching. But yeah, no, Tom Bray. I'll have to look it up.
Yeah, Riptide. Oh my god, it's so good. My friend Will, his dad is the villain in the first episode, which back then episodes were movie length.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, his dad used to be a villain in all those awesome shows, the action shows of the late 70s, early 80s, and then I think he just got tired of it and retired.
Oh, I don't blame him. It's all good. I mean, it is a tiring business.
Yes, audition. And, but back to the point. Tom Bray was in that, and then he appeared in Prince of Darkness, John Carpenter's Prince of Darkness. He was in the absolutely horrendous House 3, which in America was called The Horror Show. It is garbage. Pretend it didn't happen.
Well,
but he's good in it.
Well, hence the name Horror Show. It's quite horrible.
Yeah, and he was in Deep Star 6, which is a giant lobster underwater comes up into the submarine and kills everybody. It's cheesy as hell, but it's also highly entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
Tom would retire, for the most part, from at least Hollywood. He came up here to Portland, and he is a teacher now, teaching the next generation on acting. And every once in a while, he'll do some stage stuff. He'll do a little bit of cameos here and there, but for the most part, he is focused on teaching.
Right, and he really was passionate about Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
I think he really enjoyed the fact that he didn't have to be on screen. I don't know. You know what? Since he's a local boy, I feel like I should try and interview him. See if he'll come on the show and tell us what it was like being on Killer Tomatoes and Riptide and whatnot.
Oh, hell yeah.
All right, so
I'll have to look into Riptide.
Yeah, seriously. I think it's on YouTube. There's some episodes there, and I really enjoy it. It's a lot of those shows back in the 80s. They didn't have... You know how TV shows now, you kind of have to watch every episode because that's an overlying arc? TV back then was basically, I saw an episode like a month ago, and I had to work for the next 3 weeks. I came back, watched another episode. I didn't lose anything. You could jump in at any point.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, TV,
yeah, you're actually thinking back on that. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
TV was easier to get into because there wasn't to be continueds. Previously on, you just, it's on, and you watch it, and you're done. And if you missed a couple of weeks episodes, you were fine. You didn't feel like you were lost. You couldn't watch the show anymore.
Right. To me, honestly, what kind of changed that, I think going into the whole arc on a TV show was Lost.
Lost really dug in. That was one of the first, you absolutely positively, that and 24. 24 was probably the first to be you can't miss a single episode because you have no clue what's going on. There were shows that had, small arcs, like Miami Vice, Crime Story, NYPD Blue. But, yeah, 24,
Star Trek,
Alias, and Lost definitely were the real turn in television where you had to watch every episode.
And plus, 24 had Kiefer Sutherland. God damn it.
From 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock, I was pooping because I spent the previous day just running around.
Yeah, it's all right. I prefer some alone time now and then.
I think it kills me that you sound like Kiefer Sutherland, but when I met you, you look just like Donald Sutherland.
Yeah, it's all good, man. I don't blame you. My dad was pretty cool, too, especially in Animal House. He was badass. He was a funny professor.
All right, so that is it for us with Killer Tomatoes. We're going to take a break real quick, talk about the entertainment news, and finish off with Creepy Crawlers. All right.
Not bad. Okay.
All right, everybody, it's time for entertainment news. Entertainment news.
In your anus news?
Yes, I've decided to put a microphone up my butt, and we're going to listen to the rest of the show.
We're going to listen to your bowel movements. It's fucking crazy. I mean, I didn't know this was a science show. That's awesome.
Over the muffled sounds of us discussing stuff in the movies. You just randomly hear a
that was after someone's...
the new Star Wars movie.
Wait, what? Don't you dare insult this new Star Wars movie.
All right. Jacob, what's going on in movies?
Okay, movies, well, Pan flopped big time.
Oh, yeah. How could you? I mean,
what else?
I honestly thought it was going to be a hit, and I was kind of disappointed.
Yeah, no, it looked like it was going to be very fun. I mean, visually, it's fantastic, but honestly, it was supposed to be released in the earlier summer, not October. But it got pushed back, and usually something like that happens, something's wrong.
Yeah, you and I talked about it, and I thought it was a bit strange that $150 million movie wasn't even being dumped, I think, over a holiday. I think it was just dumped on some random weekend.
Oh, I know. And Martian still took number one. Oh, and The Last Witch Hunter with Vin Diesel sucked. Bombed too.
Oh, yeah. Well, I saw that one coming. I don't understand why will Vin Diesel just realize that he needs to show some emotion? That's why The Rock is so awesome. Even Vin Diesel has it in his contract that he can never lose a fight, ever. And that's what makes you love an actor is because they're the underdog. They got their ass handed to them. They came back and they won. And Vin Diesel refuses to have any of that. He refuses to really move his face other than, you know, like he just talks like so nasally and grumpy. I couldn't do a Vin Diesel impression if I tried.
I could try. I don't got friends. I got family. Something like that. I'm always something. Yeah, it's always something. No, I'm always something. And of course, I'm referring to the Saturday Night Live parody trailer of a live-action Bambi with The Rock.
Yeah, The Rock is just killer. I love The Rock, and he refuses, and that's why The Last Witch Hunter is shit. Even though I do like the director, Brett Eisner, he did a fantastic remake of The Crazies.
Oh, yes, that's right. I was wondering why that name sounded so familiar. That and it had the supporting cast of Michael Caine and Elijah Wood.
Yeah. Well, you know, Brett Eisner's dad is Michael Eisner, the former head of Disney.
Yes. Oh my gosh. That explains. Oh, no wonder why that kid's. Oh, no wonder why that kid's got a directing job. Probably relied on dear old daddy, rich boy.
But what surprises everybody is the fact that Steve Jobs tanked, and I loved it. I went and saw it this weekend, and the minute it ended, I wanted to see it again. It was just phenomenal. I was in love with it.
Are you sure these aren't early screenings?
Well, no. Steve Jobs came out worldwide. You know, 2,500 screens or whatever. And it tanked. It made like $7 million, and it is already in my top 10.
But I mean, I know I'm hearing so many great things about Michael Fassbender's performance, and like a lot of great critical reviews.
I think everything you hear about Michael Fassbender is amazing. I mean, even all the way down to the fact that he has a huge schwanz.
Wait, a huge what?
He's got that big wiener.
He would have an enormous schwanzstücke. That goes without saying.
He's magnetic for more than one reason.
I honestly cannot wait to see what he's going to do with Magneto or what he's going to be doing with the character of Magneto in X-Men Apocalypse.
Yeah, but I'm worried about Assassin's Creed. But if there's anybody that can make a good video game movie, I trust his instincts. But Steve Jobs, seriously, please go out and see this. I feel like all of the great, critically acclaimed dramas that have been coming out the last 2 months are getting tons of buzz, and when they come out, very little box office. We're Black Mass, Everest, Sicario, with Steve Jobs. I feel like there's another one in there, and they're getting very good reviews, and the box office just isn't showing up. Oh, The Walk. The Walk is the one that everybody thought was going to be the game changer, and nobody went.
Yeah, I know. I mean, Robert Zemeckis, he is a great director. He has proven that. And Joseph Gordon-Levitt's a great actor. You think, especially with someone like him, especially the hit record kids, would all go and see that movie. But no, unfortunately, everybody's interested in something else. And I think people are getting way too pumped up for the new Star Wars.
Yeah.
Ever since that trailer was announced.
Totally.
Oh god! And when after that trailer premiered, that's what I think that football game that night is the reason why so many people, so many nerds managed to watch it, was just to see that trailer. And 88 seconds later, all those like theater websites crashed.
Yeah. I have not watched the trailer yet, and in fact, I'm not going to watch the trailer. I have seen 0 trailers. I refuse to read any movie news because I want to go into the movie completely clean, fresh, shiny, new, like a baby. And I don't.
True.
I don't want to have any preconceived notions. I just want to go see it without any of the hoopla.
I'm just going to tell you this, Michael. Even if you did watch the trailer, you'd still be asking yourself some questions. Like, oh my god, I don't even know. I still don't know what to expect.
I might have
you
to
still
change
won't
my
know what to
underwear
expect.
a couple times too while watching it.
Yep. Beat up. Yep. I know. And honestly, I'm reading like what a lot of trolls are saying about why these movies are going to suck because of just for like the stupidest, dumbest fucking reasons.
You know
just
what? The trolls will hate anything. You could have the most beautiful baby. Jesus himself could come back and say, "I forgive you all. I will give you whatever you desire in your hearts." And people are like, "Fuck that guy. He's a dick. He looks weird. He sucks.
He's a socialist."
Yeah. There's no profit in being kind. Fuck him. And that's what trolls do. They want to hate so bad because guess what? They're empty and they're losers. And they have
pretty much, yeah.
They can only fill their world with hate because they're in so much pain. Don't hate the trolls. Pity them.
I do. And at the end of the day, I just realized, well, that's their mental illness, not mine.
Yeah.
And also, Jared Leto's Entertainment Weekly cover of him dressed as the Joker.
Yeah.
People were just going, oh, blah, 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 blah. They're holding it up to too high of standards.
Right. Well,
right? Plus,
everybody wants a miracle. They want a cinematic miracle, or they want it to be the worst thing ever. So they want to poop on something, or they just want... I don't know what anybody wants anymore. It doesn't seem like it was the way when I was a kid, where things... I don't know.
I know.
The demand is too high for perfection.
Exactly. I mean, look, there were people constantly bitching, complaining about when Heath Ledger was cast as Joker.
Right.
I'm like, no, he's a very dramatic.
They bitch about Michael Keaton. They bitch about Ben Affleck. They bitch about everything because in their head they have something that I think the only time we've ever made them happy was Deadpool. Ryan Reynolds. That's the only time they've been casting, and everybody's like, yeah, we're actually good with this. Yeah, we know Green Lantern sucked, but whatever.
I know, but it's by Fox. They're going to ruin it, just like they ruined Fantastic Four and X-Men. I'm like, there's really no justification to what you said about X-Men. Yeah, maybe you can have a good argument around X-Men Origins Wolverine and X-Men The Last Stand, but every other movie, no, it's doing too good. It's too good of a franchise to sell.
Right.
And plus, there's really nothing wrong with the X-Men movies, except, like I said, there was some continuity damage because of X-Men Origins Wolverine and Last Stand.
It happens,
dude.
It just happens.
And then...
There's confusion. Go ahead.
Exactly. Then there was Days of Futures Past. That fixed it all. It went back in time, reset everything, and now they can kind of move on. Now they can move on forward.
And I believe.
Plus, and it's also the best X movie that's been out so far.
Did you have anything else? I feel like that was the rest of the movie news. Can't remember.
I do think that's about it.
All right, everybody.
That's all I wanted to discuss.
There was an actor who passed away last week. Now, he wasn't huge in the animation world. He was kind of a character actor, just did his job. But he did do one major voice of my childhood that I will always connect to him. And whenever I hear it, I am filled with joy. And I cannot possibly be the last one. Marty Ingalls passed away. And he is known for one role, and it is Pac-Man. And it's absolutely fantastic. Let's take a listen to his voice work.
Pac-Man, here I come. I got him now. There he is. Geronimo.
All right, I was hoping for more Pac-Man there, but yes, he had the happy, gruffly voice of Pac-Man that I loved as a child. And rest in peace, Marty. Thank you for bringing so much joy, at least to me.
No, he did sound very happy and uppity, and could get you through the day. He could just call you. I mean, like Jim Cummings, he could just call you in the hospital as Pac-Man, and you'd be happier.
Pac Power. I couldn't do his voice.
Of course,
there is no replacing him. It's a voice that was so unique, and I think
Pac Power.
It's he never really did any voice work outside of this, at least not in animation, and I think it's just because he has such an unusual voice. All right, it is time for our final cartoon, Creepy Crawlers. Let's go with some Creepy Crawlers. This was your suggestion, Jacob. I didn't even know this cartoon existed.
Something I did? I'm just a normal kid. I'm not sure what they are. But they're totally bizarre. My name's Chris. Let me tell you about the moonlight night when creepy crawler commandos came in a flash of light. Small goo came pouring out, and then they appeared, and they each...
Alright, so that's Creepy Crawlers. I love that early 90s hip-hop. Hip-hop was like all over the place. What's that Little Shop cartoon I was telling you about earlier? And we should discuss this at some point, because you need to see the nightmare that is Little Shop. There's lots of hip-hop and strange street poetry. It's obviously a product of its time. Same thing with Creepy Crawlers. But Creepy Crawlers has decent animation and a good story to follow up. It's not just a catchy tune.
And an awesome toy line. I had one of the main characters who had the mohawk, Tick Tick Von Tick, I think his name was.
Creepy Crawlers, the toy line was on the shelf. The very first time that I worked for Target in high school, I was working in toys almost primarily, and I remember Creepy Crawlers being very popular.
Oh, yeah, no, I mean, of course it was. I mean, just from, like, the edible little candies and gummies that you can create out of it, and then it expanded into this, like, action-packed adventure cartoon.
And this was from Saban Entertainment, who I think at the time they were mostly doing the the Power
Power
Rangers kind of
Rangers.
shows, but I don't think they really focused on animation yet. I think that was kind of something in the future for them. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I think they did one or two other animation cartoons. Didn't they have work on the Toxic Avenger? Or was that someone else?
I can look that up. I don't. You know what's funny is I just reposted that episode, gang. While we're at it, while I'm looking this up, if you go to Facebook, look under Back in Tunes, you can find all of our cartoons there to listen to. Pick and choose, or subscribe and listen to all of them. You see, and and Toxic Avengers was one of them. Right now, we're doing monster cartoons the whole month, and this is going to be our final one for the month. We're going to probably air it tomorrow, right before Halloween. They did do Samurai Pizza Cats, which someone asked that we review one day, and I tried to watch it, and my brain melted a little bit, so I can no longer tie my shoes without drooling all over myself.
You just felt that dumb after watching it?
Yeah, it was bad. They did do some cartoons. They're French-American cartoons. For Deke Entertainment, they did Camp Candy, which is the John Candy cartoon, which we are totally discussing sometime in the future. They did JC and the Wheeled Warriors, which we have on our list of requests. The Mysterious Cities of Gold. They also did music for a couple cartoons like Inspector Gadget, but for the most part, I think they were still focused on live action.
Yeah,
Saban's a strange company. I believe they're now into doing movies for theaters. I saw they did a couple of them.
Yeah, and they're definitely going to be have some kind of association with the new Power Rangers movie.
Yeah, I'm kind of interested in that because I actually kind of I like the action of the Power Rangers. I just didn't care for the stories, but they're not really meant to be deep stories. They're meant to just be like Godzilla, kaiju. They're supposed to be like fun, wacky, crazy adventures.
I know. I mean, looking back at it, I'm just like, God, I really went apeshit for this. I practically had a hard-on for this when I was a kid.
So I'm looking.
Especially for Kimberly.
I'm looking at the cartoon. Oh yeah, she was on Felicity, wasn't she? Later.
Amy Jo Johnson?
Yeah.
I believe so, and she was also in a show about a specific, SWAT team.
Oh right.
I can't remember what it's called.
Enrico Colantani from Just Shoot Me and Veronica Mars was on it. I used to watch that show. I was looking at what Saban did when they had their French company. They did Kid Video, which is one of our previous episodes, which I absolutely love. They did Care Bears. They did Kissy Fur, Laser Tag Academy, which we are totally discussing later. Alf. They did Alf, the animated series. How could we not discuss that? Oh my god, these are great. Kid and Play. They did the Little Shop cartoon. They did Eek the Cat, which...
Oh my god, Eek the Cat, we have to discuss.
Kumbaya! And, Creepy Crawlers came out right when they were doing the production on Iron Man, Fantastic Four, and Spider-Man.
All right.
Wow, there is a lot of stuff here I want to watch. They did Space Strikers. What's that? I want to know what that is. Diabolique.
I don't know.
All right.
I don't know.
We're getting off the point here. All right, Creepy Crawlers. Yeah, I actually thought it was pretty entertaining. I would watch it again, but of course, we watch so many cartoons for the show, I rarely ever get back to visit a cartoon again.
Oh, precisely. Yeah, I know. I'm like, hold on. I think those sirens meant that Nicolas Cage is, out and about.
You could hear
running.
that? You could hear those sirens?
Yeah, I know. I think it's because Nicolas Cage just got out and he's running around screaming, "I'm a vampire."
Oh god!
Because it's that time of the year for him. It's Halloween.
He's eating some cockroaches and running around. A B C D D E F G.
E F G. You're the lowest on the totem pole here, Alpha. The lowest. Do you realize that? Okay, wait. Who's responsible for that? Who would be responsible? Who would misplace that file? It's all in alphabetical order.
All right, so that brings us to the end of our first Monsterpalooza episode. I wonder what 4 cartoons we're going to discuss next year. God, I hope that we have enough cartoons to go for a few more years. Not only do I hope that we have enough cartoons, I hope that you guys are there to support us, and I thank you for those that have. We are really just racking up the numbers. We're getting to the point, if we can get to a certain amount, we can finally get some ad sponsorship through our web host. In the meantime, check us out on YouTube. We're going to start posting our episodes there because it's free for us to load them up. And if you subscribe and watch some of the commercials, we earn a little chunk of change. And
that we should.
Yeah, Jacob, you and I have been busting our butt on this for 2 years almost. We've passed our 200th episode. Whee!
Woohoo!
And honestly, I couldn't do the show without you. I have guests that come in from time to time, but they never have the enthusiasm, the investment of time and energy that you do. And I really hope that one day we end up in the same town again so we can do this live and not through a speaker.
Oh, that's because I think it's all Nicholas. Trying to keep Nicolas Cage as a pet, really just brings out the anxiety in me.
Yeah.
Sometimes he's just a real asshole, and he'll get out. And just now, I'm expecting the police to come back and drop him off here.
And clearly, I am an international man of mystery, and I have to travel the world. So therefore, while I'm off, fighting the bad guys, I stop every once in a while and phone Jacob. We talk about cartoons, and usually while I'm cleaning my laser watch and my spy goggles and making love to the most fantastic women in the world.
You fucking liar.
I am.
Let's
I'm lying about everything. I'm a scumbag. All right, everybody, that is it for us here. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, our names, Thank you.
Tiddlywinks.
All right, Jacob. Say goodnight, Jacob.
All right.
Say goodnight to the crowd.
Good night. Parting is such sweet sorrow, my dear.
Do you like our new ending theme song? It's kind of sad and fun.
It kind of reminds me of Stay, just a little bit longer. Not by the fourth season.
Because I never want this show to end. And it's kind of sad.
Just a little bit longer.
All right, buddy.
Good
night. Bring, bring, bring. Hello? Is anyone there?
Yes, I'm sorry. There's a bad connection. Yes, but thank you for calling your local Halloween costume store. How can I help you?
Yes, I know it's kind of late, and I know probably all the good costumes are gone, but I wonder if you could help me find a costume. I got a party to go to. I don't want to go, but I gotta go. So, all right, you ready for maybe you have something on this list?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Shoot, kid.
Do you have a Michael Dukakis running for office, 1988, but in the tank with the helmet on, voting, just like telling you to vote for him, putting his thumb up? Do you have that costume?
I'm terribly sorry. We actually just sold our last one. I'm sorry. Was that a whoopee cushion? Did I step on a whoopee cushion? Oh, darn it. I thought I told him to put that away.
Do you have a Lone Ranger costume? Not the classic Lone Ranger, just Johnny Depp costume. But not the Lone Ranger, but I just want that headpiece. That big bird that he has on his head.
Right here. I can actually look that up for you. I think we might have 3 available. Is everything all right, sir?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm good. I don't know what you're referring to. I just want to know if you have the Lone Ranger costume. But I mean the helmet, the thing of Tonto, that's his name, Tonto.
Yes, I do believe we might be able to have that headpiece. Let me go check in the. I could have sworn that wasn't me. I didn't step on anything.
All right, so you don't have that. How about a giant Gumby outfit, but missing one leg, and possibly replaced with, I don't know, a chainsaw?
Let's see. I know we wouldn't have that specific one available, but you can come in and we make a custom order for you. We'd be happy to do that.
That sounds good, but, I gotta have it for tonight. Is that possible?
Yeah, it could be. It shouldn't take too long. We have our... sir, are you calling from a restroom?
Oh, no. I couldn't have possibly eaten at a Mexican restaurant, and then after that a Greek restaurant, and then eating roughly 16 pounds of chocolate, and in an emergency, possibly be calling you from the bathroom and asking for obscure costumes, and because I'm in a hurry. Nope, not happening whatsoever. Do you have Larry B. Scott from Revenge of the Nerds? You know, he was the effeminate one, but I don't want the costume from Revenge of the Nerds. I want the costume that he wore for Iron Eagle. Do you have that?
I don't think we have that one. Sir, you didn't even give me a chance to look for the other two, and I know for a fact we don't have that one available.
Oh, God, I'm just in so much pain. I mean, frustration from not being able to find something. I appreciate everything you're doing, and I have very particular tastes. And there's certain things I'm looking for. I know that it's challenging. I appreciate all your patience. Do you have the doorbell used in Addams Family, but full size? Can I wear that?
I think we might have something that is similar to that you would like. Especially. Oh God, sir. I think that smell's just coming through the phone. Oh Jesus. Are you okay?
I am perfectly fine. The only thing that I need is just the relaxation, the relief, the sweet shit relief.
I would recommend some Epsom salt and
some no, I wasn't finished. Water. The sweet relief of finding a costume from Gilligan's Island. But none of the regular cast members, maybe a guest star, possibly the Harlem Globetrotters. But not the Harlem Globetrotters themselves, possibly their coach, Skippy Woods. Do you have that costume?
Well, we do have a wide variety of basketball players available, sir.
He was not the basketball player, he was the coach of the Harlem Globetrotters.
Can I finish? Oh, gosh. That's just horrible. I'm so sorry you're going through that, sir, but I think I may have a costume that... I think I might have a costume that you might, appeal to your situation right now. We do have these obscure, funny, jokey ones of a giant pair of butt cheeks with rectal bleeding. Would that work?
Possibly, if it also comes in a sailor suit.
There is a sailor cap that you can buy that's an accessory. Please, sir.
Does
please
it
make
come
a purchase
with the goatee of Maynard Krebs from Dobie Gillis?
Yes, please. Just for the love of God, make a selection. Oh.
I choose number 2. Was that a choice? I don't remember now.
Like number 2 as in like a giant piece of poo, or the giant butt cheeks with rectal bleeding and the sailor hat and mustache?
I will take the costume that is a giant piece of poo, because it could possibly hide the smells, and if only it comes with Tim Curry's teeth when he was in Legend. Do you have that?
Yes, we do.
You have the smiling poo costume they only made 2 of in one? That the president...
Yes, we do. It's very rare and it's locked away in the vault. Just make a selection so I can hang up this phone and get rid of the smell.
Oh, sure. Just, I'll be down in a little bit to pick it up, and just make sure that it also has a time lock on it, so that when it comes time, that I can open the poop hatch and let out real poop. Not that I need to poop.
Of course, sir. We'll customize that for you. Just please hurry up and make a selection.
I will take the shiny gold teeth of Tim Curry from Legend with the sailor suit, chainsaw leg, poop costume with the time lock ass piece.
All right, great. Thank you, sir. That was
Well, thank you so much. You are a very dedicated worker. I will be down as soon as I can stop being distracted by things. Sorry. I'm on my way.
How many pounds have you lost?
Oh, God, who knows? I think I came in as a size 12, and now I have no pants. I don't know where my pants are.
We can put this order under.
Dan Shits.
Someone get
Just coincidental.
What was that name?
Dan Shits.
Okay.
Dan
Okay.
Shits. Everybody calls me Poop Mouth. I have no idea why.
Is that spelled with a Z? Oh my god, give me that, please.
It's 12 Z's and a silent Q plus the middle finger.
Okay, great. Thank you. We'll see you soon, sir. Have a good day. Bye.
All right. See you here.